Across America, the lives of school, collegiate, and professional athletes are being lost to a killer many people don't even know about: sudden cardiac arrest. Recently, you may have heard about a high-profile athlete who fell victim to a sudden and unexpected stopping of the heart. However, there are countless other athletes who succumb to sudden cardiac arrest: children, teens, and college students who play in sports, and many others. Their faces may not be familiar to you, but they are terribly missed by their families, friends, and communities. All these young people died unexpectedly of sudden cardiac arrest. To understand why SCA is a tragic and sudden cause of death, we'll first look at why seemingly healthy and strong athletes experience these types of heart failures. Within seconds, the person experiencing SCA loses consciousness and a pulse. Time is critical because chances of survival drop about 10% every minute without defibrillation to the heart. It's estimated that about 335,000 Americans die of SCA every year. That's nearly 1,000 people a day, and thousands of these are young people, including children.
If I was an athletic trainer, I would not be on the field, on the tennis court, in the gym, anywhere at a game or practice without an AED. Anywhere. I could not live with myself knowing that at any minute, at any time, anywhere a child can collapse and know that an AED will save their life and I don't have it.
Jessica was at cheerleading practice when she went into cardiac arrest and passed away shortly after that.
And he was doing calisthenics at a football clinic and he collapsed and had a cardiac arrest. And we found out later that he had been living with an undiagnosed heart condition of an enlarged heart all his life, but it had never been diagnosed by a physician or a cardiologist.
So this is a very dear cause to me, first for athletic screenings and better physicals, and then also to have the defibrillator there, because that would have been the only thing that would have saved him if it would have happened when he was on the football field.
And then it was a 45-minute ride to the hospital, and then he wasn't able to sustain his heartbeat. And when we got to the hospital, they worked on him for another hour, and that's when we found out what sudden cardiac arrest was, when the nurse said to us, he shouldn't have died. There should have been a defibrillator at that school.
We now understand more fully the devastating effect that sudden cardiac arrest has on young athletes, their parents and families, and communities. There's no price that can be put on a life and all the lost dreams of potential caused by these tragedies.
And we're finding not just 10 athletes are dying a year, but hundreds of athletes are dying a year. And then there's 7,000 to 10,000 young children dying every year from sudden cardiac death that aren't athletes. And if you take into consideration those numbers, we changed laws in Arizona alone to prevent 100 kids from drowning in swimming pools. Why aren't we doing more?
There is hope, both through prevention and prompt treatment. Pre-screening can yield important information about performance potential and abnormalities that may cause exercise-related symptoms, and in some instances, SCA.
So I think pre-screening can indeed identify some of those kids who are at risk, and pre-screening should be very comprehensive and should be very uniform.
In children and adolescents, there are warning signs that often go unnoticed. They include fainting during or after exercise, dizziness or lightheadedness, excessive fatigue with exercise, unusual shortness of breath associated with exercise, heart palpitations or abnormal heart rate or rhythm. There also are a number of underlying conditions that may make SCA more likely. They include high blood pressure, congenital heart abnormality, obesity, diabetes, family history of sudden death before age 50, or known heart abnormalities. Also, there is a condition known as commotio cordis, which is brought on by a blunt blow to the chest, such as during sports. This condition can also produce SCA in healthy young athletes.